The alarm clock blared. Ugh, Mondays. Except it wasn't Monday, it was Wednesday, which somehow felt even worse. See, Wednesday was like the middle child of the week, always overlooked, and that's exactly how Brenda felt, completely unremarkable. She stared at her reflection. Yep, still blonde, still kind of empty inside. Maybe it was the beige walls of her apartment. She should really repaint. Or maybe it was, the lack of a fulfilling life purpose. No, that was too deep for a Wednesday. First world problems, she muttered to her reflection, fluffing her perfectly tousled blonde waves. The reflection just stared back unhelpfully. Brenda sighed. Time for coffee. Maybe caffeine would jumpstart her existential crisis, or at least make it slightly more entertaining. Brenda scrolled through social media, everyone else seemingly living their best lives. She took a large gulp of coffee. Ugh, this is just sad, she mumbled, pushing away a half-eaten croissant. Maybe what she needed was a creative outlet, something to fill the void, something like creating a cartoon character. A cartoon character. The perfect escape? Now that was a spark of genius. Brenda unearthed her old, slightly dusty drawing pad. The paper felt rough under her perfectly manicured fingers, like a forgotten treasure. Time to get inspired. What kind of character? Something everyone could relate to, she mused out loud, tapping her chin with a perfectly French manicured nail. A character that embodies the struggle of just getting through the day. A slow smile spread across her face. She'd call him Larry the Lazy Lump. Perfect. Brenda started sketching. A round blob began to take shape. Larry the Lazy Lump. He'd be perpetually tired, perpetually hungry, and have an uncanny ability to attract chaos. Sound familiar? Basically her spirit animal, but in cartoon form. She squinted at the drawing. Needs more lumpiness. Brenda grabbed a red crayon, adding exaggerated shadows under Larry's non-existent chin there. Now he looked appropriately lethargic. She leaned back, admiring her handiwork. Maybe she did have some artistic talent after all. The doorbell rang, jolting Brenda out of her daydream. She jumped up, sending her coffee flying. Seriously? The doorbell rang again, this time more impatiently. Brenda sighed deeply. It was probably Mrs. Henderson from downstairs, back with another noise complaint. She opened the door, ready to flash her best apologetic smile, but it wasn't Mrs. Henderson. It was a delivery guy holding a large, flat package. "Brenda?" he asked, glancing at his clipboard. "Yeah, that's me," she replied, puzzled. She hadn't ordered anything, had she? The delivery guy thrust the package into her arms. "Have a good one," he chirped, already halfway down the hallway. Brenda stared at the package. It was addressed to her, in her name. Curiosity and a healthy dose of suspicion got the better of her. She tore open the package. Inside lay a stack of t-shirts. Brenda pulled one out. Printed on the front, in all its poorly drawn glory, was Larry, the Lazy Lump. And underneath, in a cheerful, bubbly font, were the words, "Embrace your inner lump." Brenda's jaw dropped. Had she accidentally created merchandise for her non-existent cartoon empire? She quickly checked the website printed on the back of the t-shirt. It was real, and somehow, Larry the Lazy Lump had gained a small but devoted following. "This is insane," she muttered, a slow grin spreading across her face. Maybe life wasn't so empty after all. The website was a total train wreck. Brenda was completely clueless, but driven by a wild mix of panic and excitement, she decided to just go for it. She sort of learned how to use design software, figured out how to fulfill orders, thanks to countless YouTube tutorials, and stumbled through the bizarre world of online marketing, mostly by trial and error. It was a hot mess. A hilarious, chaotic, and surprisingly rewarding hot mess. Larry the Lazy Lump, her accidental creation, had become a symbol of relatable laziness for the internet generation. People loved his complete lack of ambition, his unapologetic love for napping, and his knack for getting into trouble. In other words, they connected with Brenda's own quirks. Brenda still felt a bit lost sometimes. But now she had Larry, and she had a mission to spread the joy of laziness, one poorly drawn cartoon at a time. Who knew that finding your passion could be so hilariously ironic?